8 October 2020, and today I want to quickly look at the situation that is developing in the MDC-T, and specifically I want to look at the fights that are going to come up between the acting president Kupe and Secretary General Douglas Mwonzora. So those two are the front runners in the MDC. They are likely to be the leaders. So one of them is going to emerge as the leader of the MDC-T by December. But there are a number of things that have happened up to this point that are going to lead to a fight between Dr. Kupe and Secretary General Douglas Mwonzora. I want to go through some of these factors, and specifically, many people don't know that Douglas Mwonzora was responsible for bringing back Kupe into the MDC-T. From the very first day when Morgan Tsvangirai died, Douglas Mwonzora has been fighting for Kupe to come back. So I got an audio from, I think that was Studio 7, on the very day when Morgan Tsvangirai died, or in fact on the very week. And I want to play this audio for you to have context of what Douglas Mwonzora has been saying from the beginning. So this is a short 3-minute clip, and I want you to listen to it.
Chaitika ndichokuti patakachita msangano wedu we-National Council pane zvandaona zvanga zvichiresveka pamutemo wedu, pabumbiro redu remutemo wedu we-MDC. Kada kuzama kuudza vamwe kuti muri kuresva apa nepapa nepapa nepapa, asi handina kuwana mukana iwoyo, handina kupiwa mukana iwoyo Secretary General wemusangano. Saka nokuti nhasi izuva rekuchema, izuva rekuti tiri kurangarira gamba redu Morgan Tsvangirai, handinoda kuita gakawa. Ndichaona zvangu tapedza kuchema, tapedza funeral yemutungamiri, ndo panichataura nevakomana ava vese kuti nhasi zvaitika muNational Council hazvisi pamutemo wedu we-MDC. Chandoreva ndechokuti kana president wedu vachinge vashaya sekushaya kwavaita uko, bato redu rinoenda ku-extraordinary congress kwatinonosarudza mutungamiri mutsva anova anozova zvakare candidate yedu pama-elections. Saka chaifanira kuitika ndichokuti hongu vanhu vanogona kuacta, asi vanoacta kwenguva diki. Tobva tadeedzera musangano we-extraordinary congress wokuti vanhu vese vari kumawards, vari kumadistrict vese, vari kumaprovinces vese vanouya vosarudza mutungamiri wavo nevhoti. Saka izvozvo hazvina kubuda muresolution yanhasi. Saka misangano miviri yatanga taita ku-National Executive, ku-National Standing Committee, ndanga ndazvitaura izvozvo, uyezve zvanga zvatambirwa, ndosaka zvanga zvanzi vanoacta kusvika nguva yakati. Asi ku-National Executive pazoita nyaya yekungodaidzira kuti musangano ku-National Council kuti musangano munhu anokwanisa kuacta 12 months. Zvazvinoreva ndezvokuti tinoenda ku-election tisina presidential candidate. Presidential candidate yedu ndi president akasarudzwa neCongress. Saka nyaya iripo ndeyokuti tichagara pasi tapedza rufu rwavatsvangirai, ndoonesa vakuru vebato redu kuti chakanyanya kukosha ndechekuti musangano wedu uite zvido zvavanhu, tikwanise kuenda ku-extraordinary congress yedu tosarudza mutungamiri wedu ikoko.
Saka pari zvino tingati ana mvumo yekunge akafanira bata chigaro chemutungamiri webato ndiani?
Pamutemo wedu vice president akavhoterwa paCongress ndiye ane mvumo yekuita acting president. Saka pane vice president matatu apa, vice president maviri akanga anzi navatsvangirai vaacte kusvika vatsvangirai vadzoka. VaChamisa vakanzi vaacte kusvika vatsvangirai vadzoka, vaMudzuri vakanzi vaacte kusvika vatsvangirai vadzoka. Zvazvinoreva ndizvo, asi vatsvangirai vadzoka. Dambudziko nderekuti vadzoka vasisiri vapenyu, asi vadzoka. Saka izvozvo zvinenge zvapererawo panguva iyoyo. Mutemo uripo unobva wati akasarudzwa neCongress ndiye anoacta kwechinguva chishoma shoma. Pobva kwaendiwa ku-extraordinary congress, vanhu vonovhoterana ikokoko. Ndo zvatoda kuti zviitike izvozvo.
Right. So I think you all heard this audio was recorded on the week when Morgan Tsvangirai died, which means Douglas Mwonzora is instrumental in the coming back of Thokozani Kupe. If Douglas Mwonzora was not there, Thokozani Kupe was not going to come back into the MDC-T. She had already been recalled, and Mwonzora worked very hard for her to come back into the MDC-T. So she's acting now because of the work that Mwonzora did. But I don't think Kupe understands this completely, and she feels that she's got a right to be in that position. You saw what happened yesterday when she was in parliament. She was very clear that she's happy that she's back. She's now the leader of the opposition because she's the leader of a party, and she's already working on programs. So this is the first reason why there will be a clash between Douglas Mwonzora and Thokozani Kupe going into these next 3 months, leading up to December. There's going to be clashes because Mwonzora expects Thokozani Kupe to show gratitude. And I do not think that is going to happen. I do not think that they are going to show him gratitude. In fact, what has happened is that some of Dr. Kupe's people have already been saying Mwonzora does not qualify to contest in the Extraordinary Congress because he worked with Chamisa. So this will be the first reason why there's going to be a clash. Then the second reason why there's a clash is, or why there's likely going to be a clash, is that Dr. Thokozani Kupe is not nationally popular compared to Douglas Mwonzora. So she's likely to lose at the Extraordinary Congress. And if she was to lose, she would then have to revert to the position of vice president. So Mwonzora will become her president and she will become his vice president. And I don't see this working at all. I think this is going to be a very difficult pill for her to swallow, to become Mwonzora's deputy. And this is another reason for the clash. And then I want to go to reason number 3. Kupe has already been appointed into parliament. So she's now sitting in parliament, and she has also appointed her key lieutenants. So that is people who are right next to her. Kalipani Pugeni, Chief Ndlovu. These guys are sitting in Senate. So what has happened is that she's controlling MPs in parliament, and Pugeni and Chief are going to be in control in Senate. And if you see, Douglas Mwonzora is sitting in Senate, so he won't be having control in parliament. And if he wins, there'll be 2 centers of power, and Kupe will be in control of those 2 areas. So she'll be in control of parliament, she'll also be in control of Senate. And this will cause a massive problem. I want to go to the 4th reason why there's going to be a clash between Dr. Kupe and Mwonzora within the next 3 months. And this one is to do with Chamisa. So Dr. Kupe, I do not think she wants to negotiate with Nelson Chamisa at this point. She feels that she's achieved what she wanted to achieve. She feels that Chamisa is out of the way, and she wants to take over and start implementing her programs. On the other hand, Douglas Mwonzora is most likely to want to negotiate with Chamisa. To me, he looks like someone who wants to bring about unity. And what I want to do is I want to play you another video, and this is from a few weeks back. That is when Dr. Kupe was speaking at a press conference. So I want to quickly play for you this video, and you listen to what she said about Chamisa. And this happened a week or so ago. I hope this is going to connect quickly.
Thank you very much, our members of the press. I would have loved to be with you, but unfortunately I have a United Nations virtual meeting, which is going to start anytime soon. So I will leave you with the National Chairperson and the Secretary General that are going to be addressing me. We'll meet sometime, but thank you very much for coming.
Right, I'm sorry there. I think we missed our portion, but what she said at this press conference was that Nelson Chamisa recalled her. And when he recalled her, she accepted being recalled. So she did not fight Nelson Chamisa. So Chamisa should also accept what is happening now. The MP is being recalled, and he must accept the Supreme Court ruling. The way the court is ruling is correct according to her. So what is going to happen is, after the extraordinary Congress, if Mwonzora tries to negotiate with Chamisa, it's not going to go down well with Dr. Kupe. There is no way Dr. Kupe is going to coexist with Nelson Chamisa in the same party, because now the two have clashed so much, and it's going to be difficult for them to work together. And this is one of the biggest reasons why there's going to be a clash between Dr. Khuphe and Mwonzora. And then let's go to the final reason, which is POLAD. There is a difference between Mwonzora, Komichi, and Dr. Kupe on POLAD. Dr. Kupe wants to stay in POLAD, whereas Mwonzora, Komichi, and the rest of the MDC, the people who are in the MDC-T, the people who are led by Chamisa, who still remain in the MDC-T, don't want to be in POLAD. However, Dr. Kupe is adamant that she's going to stay in POLAD, and this is going to be a serious clash. And I now want to go to the issue of the two centers of power. There is going to be a serious issue of two centers of power in the MDC-T, with Kupe, or Dr. Kupe, leading in Parliament, in Senate, and Douglas Mwonzora leading in the MDC-T at party level. And this is not going to work. It is a recipe for chaos. And if you add the fact that there's POLAD, there's the issue of POLAD, what happens with POLAD? And I know that most of the people who are in MDC, even independent people, don't consider POLAD to be the right form of dialogue. This is a recipe for a big, big clash between Dr. Kupe and Douglas Mwonzora. The end result is that within the next 3 months, if a Congress is held, an extraordinary Congress is held, I anticipate that the MDC-T is going to completely disintegrate with infighting. There's going to be an escalation of infighting by the end of December. If that happens, there is probably not going to be an MDC-T to talk about. And this is something very, very likely, and I think, and I hope that my prediction will not come true. So I think I've covered the topic of the fight that is going to happen between Dr. Kupe and Douglas Mwonzora, who are the front runners going into this extraordinary Congress. Mwonzora looking to win, because there are 15 provinces that are going to be contesting. And out of these 15, I see Mwonzora getting at least 12 of those. So if you look at the Congress dates here, so let's start today. Today is the 8th. Tomorrow, the 9th of October, is the National Executive Council. And then on Saturday or Sunday, the 11th, is the National Council. And then the candidate nomination is starting in 2 weeks' time, from 24 to 28 November. So 24 October to 28 November. And then the Extraordinary Congress is set to be held on the 31st of December. What Dr. Kupe has done is that she has started with the provinces where she's very strong, which is on 24 October, they will have nominations in Mat North. On 25 October, they will be in Bulawayo. On 31 October, they will be in Mat South. And then they immediately move. So there will be a break of about 7 days. Then they move on to Midland South, Marsh West, Marsh Central, Marsh East, Harare, and Chitungwiza, and Masvingo. So in all these areas, Mwonzora is likely to win if he's nominated. So he's likely to get the nominations here. And so going into Congress, we're probably going to have 2 candidates. That is Dr. Kupe and Mwonzora. So the 2 of them will be contesting each other directly. However, as I said, if Mwonzora wins, there will immediately be 2 centers of power, because Dr. Kupe has set herself up in such a way that she will retain power even if she loses. She's going to be in Parliament. She's going to be controlling Senate through her 2 guys, who is Pugeni and Chief Ndlovu. And at the same time, if things don't work well, she's got the fallback plan of going back into POLAD. However, if she tries to go back into POLAD, there will be a fight with the generality of the MDC-T supporters. And this is going to be total chaos. I do not see the MDC-T, which is led by Douglas Mwonzora, surviving under those circumstances, because there will be so much fighting between the two sides, the supporters of Dr. Kupe and the supporters of Douglas Mwonzora. There's also the likelihood of a Congress not happening at all. So if strings are pulled, then there'll be no Congress between now and April 2021. So I'm anticipating that if this coronavirus declaration by General Chiwenga pushes up to December, so if we stay at level 4 until December, then the elections or the extraordinary Congress and the by-elections, they'll all happen around April 2021. That means by that time, the MDC-T will have settled a bit. Dr. Kupe, she will have settled a bit in parliament, and there is a likelihood of a GNU happening in between. And this is also another recipe for disaster, because if Dr. Kupe is appointed as the official leader of the opposition, what happens if Mwonzora wins and he does not control parliament because he's sitting in Senate? And in Senate, Dr. Kupe has got two of the key guys sitting there controlling activities in Senate. So to me, the biggest mistake and the biggest mistake that was made was to appoint people into parliament, the proportional representative MPs, before the process of Congress was complete. They should have waited for the process of Congress, extraordinary Congress, to finish, and then whoever was going to be the leader between Dr. Kupe and Douglas Mwonzora was then going to be in control, and there'll be one center of power. So basically, this is where we are. Total chaos is going to break out in the MDC-T because of the two centers of power that are now there at the moment, with Dr. Kupe anticipated to lose at extraordinary Congress, but already controlling parliament and Senate. Right, I want to end it here, but I want to quickly look at the comments that are here. And I want to click at this comment here. And this is very interesting. This is from Joseph Samanyara. So when Khumalo was the opposition leader in parliament, does it mean Khumalo and Chamisa were fighting? I want to answer you directly. First, yes, Chamisa and Khumalo were fighting. You must Google the old videos that I did. Chamisa and Khumalo were fighting very, very badly. And you'll find out, those who know, they know. However, the difference between Khumalo and Chamisa is that Kupe is currently sitting in parliament and Mwonzora is currently sitting in Senate. And the stakes are higher because there's going to be that official leader of the opposition position that is going to be created. And there is going to be two distinct centers of power. That is the difference between what was happening between Chamisa and Khumalo and what is happening now between Mwonzora and Kupe. Then let's look at another comment. And I want to look for another one. I want to look at this issue of the 45,000 supporters of Kupe. And I want to make my point here. MDC supporters or Chamisa supporters, they need to understand where we are now. This doesn't matter anymore. The 45,000 supporters, they do not matter anymore. You now need a plan for going forward. If you keep looking back to the 45,000 supporters, you're going to miss the point. This bus of 45,000 supporters is gone. Kupe is sitting in parliament right now, and she's not going to get out for any reason. There's no court that is going to reverse that. And Chamisa needs a plan, a strategy to get out of this current situation. And it is not looking back to those 45,000 supporters. Right, let's look at another one. pardon, what power does one get in parliament? That is Peter Mtisi. As I said to you, there is a likelihood that the government of Zimbabwe is going to introduce the official leader of the opposition. And if that position is given to Dr. Kupe, she's got power. She'll be having an office. She'll be in charge of a lot of resources. It will not be just like being an MP. Also, the fact that she's in parliament means that she can control all the 109 or 110 MPs that the MDC has got. And she will be able to be in a place where Mwonzora is not. And that is very important. You remember when Tsvangirai was not in parliament, that had a very big impact on him and his control of the MDC. Right, and then I want to go to Peter George Changunda. Kupe is doing the job she has, and come to the time, if Dagi wins, he will carry on, not his hero worship, not this hero worship stuff. I do not agree, as I said to you, I do not agree that if Kupe loses at Congress, she's going to agree to be the deputy of Mwonzora. And I want to remind you that this Congress we're going into, this extraordinary Congress, is going to elect one person. However, within a short space of time, less than 6 months, there's going to be a full Congress where people are going to have to elect the full leadership of the MDC-T. And it means during that time, Kupe could be challenged totally and she could be removed totally from the MDC-T. And this is a very serious threat, but she will still be sitting in parliament. She will still have a people in Senate. So it is something that she's obviously thought about. I do not think she's stupid to think that she won't be removed at the full Congress of the MDC-T. She has probably considered this, that these guys will try to come back and remove her. They will try to push her until the main Congress and then remove her. Right, I think I don't want to take too much of your time. It's quite late. So I'm going to end it here. But as I said, I want to conclude with the point that I made, that the infighting within the MDC-T is going to get very, very serious. By end of December, if the extraordinary Congress is held, there is probably going to be a total disintegration of the MDC-T. However, my estimation is that the extraordinary Congress could actually not be held now, but at the end of April 2021, which is the time when I anticipate the COVID restrictions to have been lifted if all things go well. Right, I think we're done for today, and I would like to thank everyone who's watching on YouTube and Facebook. Please watch all the content that we have had today. We earlier on had content on Japreza. You can go and vote for him. He's been nominated as one of the male stars of musicians here in Africa. So please go and find that video, click on that link and vote for Japreza. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on WhatsApp, send it to as many people as possible. If you're going to be watching this on YouTube and Facebook, please follow, subscribe to our channels so that we get as many people as possible following us. As you know, our channel was attacked last year. We fell down from 35,000 subscribers to 0, and now we're back to almost 17,000. I hope that will be back to 35,000 before the end of the year. Thank you very much, and good night.